My name is David Calvo, and I'm the Director of Family and Community Engagement at CABE, the California Association of Bilingual Education. And today we are at the CABE Conference 2023, and I'm so fortunate to have run into Jaime Carias here at the exhibit hall, and you're one of our featured speakers. There's so many people that are waiting to hear your message. We'd love to hear a little bit more for our audience who wasn't able to participate. Could you share with our viewers just a little bit of your key messages of your presentation?
Yeah, well, first of all, thank you, David, for inviting me here. It's an honor and privilege to collaborate with CABE, the amazing work that CABE has been doing. 50 years and 2 years celebrating. Oh my God, time definitely flies by. I remember when I first started collaborating with CABE about 10 years ago, and learning about their work really attracted me, but most importantly, the empathy that they show towards all of our multilingual learners and their families. I'm excited to be a featured speaker here at CABE 2023. And my main message is how can we support multilingual students, but also their families? As we know, the last 3 years, the world went upside down. This is our first time back since 2019
Yes.
in 3 years. And not only does 3 years feel like an eternity ago, but also the world of education, the world of work, and the way that we teach our multilingual learners has changed. My message tomorrow to our audience is how can we support them academically? How can we prepare them for this new world of work? The world of work has changed. And most importantly, how do we embrace our identity and our language? Because yes, we celebrate Hispanic Heritage Month in September, and it's an amazing 30 days, but we should celebrate multilingual every day of every year for an eternity. We should celebrate our culture every day, not just for a month, but every day for every year. And most importantly, our families have to embrace the value of being multilingual, trilingual, bilingual, because unfortunately, when I look at my story, I did not know English until I was 5 years old. I started learning English, and my mom was so worried that I would fall behind in the English language that she wanted to push English. And on my end, I wanted to embrace the English language, that I wanted to forget Spanish. And the only reason I'm here today, David, is because my mom said, el español no se te va a ir, y lo vas a aprender, y nunca se te va a ir. Your Spanish is not going to go, and it's never going to go away. And I'm thankful to my mom for keeping that message in me. And my message for tomorrow, it's embrace multilingual language, because we live in a multilingual world. If COVID taught us anything, is we are interconnected now more than ever before. And to thrive in the world today, not only do we have to be culturally sensitive, culturally relevant, but if we are multilingual and multicultural, we will be better able to serve ourselves, our professions that we dedicate ourselves, and our communities.
Absolutely. So you started to touch a little bit about your own personal experience, and I'd love to unpack that a little bit more, because that's really helped form who you are today.
Yes.
So you speak 3 languages?
Yes, I speak 3 languages, ironically, English, Spanish, and Spanglish.
And how did that happen?
And that happens because, fortunately or unfortunately, depending however you want to see it, right? When you're born in this country, you take some English words and you frame them on your own, right? Because you don't know the correct translation, right? And at times, as you're speaking multilingual and you're embracing the culture, you take your English and you mix it with Spanish. But guess what? Spanish itself, as a language, Mexican Spanish is one way. Guatemalan Spanish, which is my native country, where my family, they say certain words that mean different in Mexican Spanish. Central American Spanish is different. Spanish from Spain is different. Puerto Rican, so South American. Sure. I went to Colombia, their Spanish is different. So all of us have our own unique secret sauce to the Spanish language. So even though it's Spanish, each region, each country has it differently. So that's why I say I speak English, Spanish, and Spanglish. And Spanglish means a little bit of everything.
Absolutely. So what inspired you to get involved in the bilingual education movement? I mean, you know, you have your own personal experience, or rather, I know you have a personal experience, but was there a key moment or some deciding factors that you said, I have to do this?
Honestly, it's just growing up in South Central LA. Growing up in South Central LA in the 1990s, seeing my parents struggle and spending a lot of time on the West Side. My mom, growing up as a kid, would clean the homes of the wealthiest of LA County. Bel Air, Beverly Hills, Malibu, Westwood. I spent a lot of my childhood there. And just seeing how my mom was treated at times by her bosses, seeing the interaction she had with them. And really, my mom doesn't speak English. The clientele she works only speaks English. And I would always ask her mom, how do you communicate with them? And she would say something that I never forget. She said, human connection has no language. Human connection has no language. But then when I see all these amazing parents here joining us, all these amazing educators like yourself and CABE committed to supporting our families and our youth, I said, this is a calling. This is our empathetic side to empower the next generation. Because if it's one thing that we know about our immigrant families that come to this country, they come for the American dream. And what I share with parents that I'll share at this conference is they always say one thing: I want my son, my daughter to have a better life than me. And I'm willing to do whatever it takes so that happens. But not only that, what calls me to this is the value of bilingual, multilingual education. Because when you're bilingual, when you're multilingual, when you are multidimensional, multicultural, you're able to understand the world from a better perspective. You're better able to serve yourself, your community, and most importantly, you're able to leave a legacy behind. And my legacy, personal legacy, is to leave a benchmark in bilingual, multilingual education with CABE.
Wow, that's just so inspirational. I hear you talk about families and parents, and my role in CABE is the Director of Family and Community Engagement. And so if we have parents watching or families watching, what message would you want to share with them?
Wow, it's a lot of messages, right?
Yeah.
But one of the things that I would say, and it's a very simple message. My dad would always tell me one thing growing up: podemos ser pobres. Podemos pasar por cosas difíciles. We could be poor. We could go through struggles. Pero media vez tenemos salud y estamos juntos. As long as we have health and we're together, todo lo demás lo vamos a figurar. Everything else we're going to figure out. You see, when I was growing up with my parents, and my dad is a mechanic and a bread maker, and he used to work making bread for Bilingual USA. My mom cleans homes and works on Rodeo Drive, Beverly Hills. Never in my life growing up with a stuttering problem too, which I still have to today, soy tartamudo, did I think I would be here. And I'm not going to tell you that my parents know what I do, because if you ask my parents right now and call my mom and say, what does Jaime do? She'll say, platica con gente. De que no sé, pero platica con gente. He talks to people. So never give up on your child. Support your child in his or her dreams. They are creative. They are unique. They are powerful. And they are trailblazers and pioneers. They are breaking barriers. And one of the things that I love telling parents is, you sacrifice so much to come to this country. You work so hard. You do the jobs that nobody wants. You sometimes take abuse just to put food on the table. Yeah. And you do that for a dream, so that your child could have a better life than you. Parents, I am not special. I am not superhuman. Your child could be here in 10 years. Heck, your child will be here in 10 years. That's my message to them.
Wow. I'm just like processing that, because it's true. In my own family, I was the first to go to college, and so I totally get it. Talking about parents, I know you wrote a special story about your parents.
Yeah.
Can you tell us more about that?
Yes, so I wrote a book called Buscando Vida Encontrando Éxito, La Fuerza de la Cultura Latina en la Educación. It's been out for about 5 years. And it shares the journey of my parents, of my mom and dad from Guatemala. And it shares their story and their journey. It also shares the story of me growing up. I'm the oldest of three. Both of my parents, Guatemaltecos, came here in the 80s. I was born in the mid 80s. Took the jobs that nobody wanted. Took the pay that nobody wanted. I would collect cans with my mom as a kid at the University of Southern California. And I remember as a kid telling my mom, 11 years old, I was at the USC campus, middle of USC campus. And my mom would carry those big 40-gallon black trash bags. 4'11", 102 pounds, small woman. I was a giant next to her when I was 11. And she would go into these trash cans and take out cans and put them. And I would have one bag and I would feel embarrassed, David. I would feel ashamed. I would feel angry and resentment, because I would ask myself, why do I have to do this? I would see the professors. I would see the students. I would see the staff look at me. and not talk to me. And I remember asking my mom one day, I said, Mom, I want to come to school here one day. And my mom said, Mijo, eso está bueno, pero no tenemos dinero para mandarte ahí. And guess what? She was lying to me. But my mom did not know about FAFSA. She did not know about scholarships. Heck, she didn't know CABE existed and the wonderful work that CABE does in these conferences to empower her. So it shares that story of a mom moving her sons along. And I was 11, and at 24, I received my master's in public policy from USC, and my mom was crying.
Fight on!
Fight on, yeah. And then I went back at 30 and led community engagement for 8 years at the Annenberg School for Communications and Journalism, creating programs to teach Black and brown kids from South Central, Compton, Watts, East LA, the power of their story, because we all have testimonials.
Yes.
We all have a story to tell. Every story matters. Every story is unique and special and powerful. And we have to teach our families that their story matters, because we've been told by so many people, and you know who I'm referring to,
Absolutely.
by so many people, that our stories don't matter, that our struggles don't matter, and that we should just hush. And it's time that our jóvenes and our families speak their power, speak their truth, because that's how we empower ourselves and our communities.
Jaime, as we bring this interview to a close, I wonder if you have closing ideas or thoughts to share with our audience.
We are in a very unique position. The last 3 years taught us a lot about ourselves personally. It taught us a lot about our families, our communities, but we also went through a lot of pain and struggle.
We did.
Some of us lost close ones.
Yeah.
Some of us went through financial turmoil. Some of us are still struggling. But we are here 3 years later, and the world has changed forever, and it will never go back to pre-COVID. And now for our multilingual, bilingual families to continue to thrive, we have to embrace this new world that we're living in. Parents, not only let your kids dream, but support them in their dreams. Students, not only dream, but pursue your dreams. Educators, not only support our students, but guide them to that path. And most importantly, in my personal opinion, I think in the next 5 to 10 years, bilingual, multilingual education will continue to move forward, most importantly, become ingrained in our everyday culture. If not, we are the global majority. We are the global majority in this country, and we will only continue to grow.
Jaime, thank you so much for your words. Thank you so much for spending time with us. I hope you have a great conference.
I'm excited. Thank you very much, David. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.